My name's Jeffrey. I used to be a prison officer for Thameside, majority of my time working there for 10 years, but I would get cross-deployed to other prison establishments such as Loudon Grange, Dovegate, Wood Hill, and Doncaster.
My name is Gray, 28 years old. I used to work in Thameside.
Hi everyone, my name is Yemi. I used to work in HMP Belmont.
What made you decide to go and work at a prison establishment?
Okay, cool. It was during COVID. I used to have an events company, clothing company, that went bust due to there was no demand for students and whatnot. So I applied online, coming from a law background. And yeah, man, I just wanted to do something different, something positive, man, something that would actually like push me, you know. So yeah, I applied for prison.
First of all, I wanted to be a probation officer. So I applied to be a probation officer. They said that I needed more life experience, so I thought, why not join the prison service?
The reviews at the time, like I said, the reviews are terrible, like very, very bad on Indeed. But I just thought, you know what, let me just go for it. The money was decent. I thought, why not?
To be fair, that wasn't even the initial plan. Where I went to university, studied criminology and psychology, and in order for you to work within the criminal sector, you needed to have some form of experience. And funny enough, when it just came upon me one day where this was when Thameside was opening up, they basically said, "Oh, would I be interested in help opening up a prison?" And at the time, I was a bit apprehensive. I'm thinking, right, this is even making sense. So initially, I've gone to Thameside and I've ended up working in what you'll call the canteen department.
My first day in prison, I was nervous. They put me on the room straight away. And I could hear the guys behind me saying, yeah, she shook, look at her.
First day in prison, I say it was interesting. The two things that stood out most was the smell of mackerel and the loud banging. I think those are two things. I don't take drugs, but but I had to, on that day, I had to take at least 2 or 3 paracetamols because my head was, it was banging, like just the smell alone, it was nauseating. It was real difficult to get used to, and I think that probably lasted for about a week till I got used to it.
And to be fair, I had a cushy there. I had a cushy number until where one of the governors has seen me like going to the gym, and he's asked me what wing I work on, and I said, no, I work in the canteen department. They said, no, we need you onto the wing because it's just going off, it's going left.
Before I'd passed, because you have to do a course, right? Like it's an 8-week course. So before I'd done that, I'd only been on the wing twice. So when you first step on the wing, everyone knows you're new, everything's shiny. You know that you're the new guy. People try to take the piss as well because they know that, okay, this person is new, they might not know what they're talking about. Even though I knew what I signed up for, I didn't know, like, just being on the wing as a prison officer, somebody in authority, like, I think that was more challenging for me in the sense of how people looked at me, but I wasn't intimidated like by any prisoner.
I remember the wing that I was deployed to was Bravo Wing Uppers, and that was the most active wing in the jail, the most active in the prison establishment. And I remember when I've walked on, obviously this is where everyone's just banged up, and on every wing the capacity holds up to, I'll say, 90 to 95 prisoners. So everyone's banged up, and obviously when I walked onto the wing, like your keychain rattles. So I'm hearing, oi, Gov. I'm thinking, oh my goodness. I'm thinking, what have I signed up to? And yeah, like obviously when I've unlocked for mass movement, so mass movements is where all of the prisoners go on their activities, or they go to their designated activities for either their visits, their legal visits, or to like workshop classes. When I've unlocked the whole wing, it's like a zoo. And I'm around inmates that are in for murders, robberies, unlocking inmates that are like big time drug dealers, not your small timers. Because initially, when Thameside opened, they had sent over prisoners from Loudon Grange who came to assist. So when I'm going around the wing and I'm looking at the bird that these inmates from Loudon are doing, I'm thinking, oh my goodness.
My first day, I came in, they were like, oh, we were all in the briefing, and they were like, oh, we don't know how to pronounce your name, so we're just gonna call you Dave. And they actually started calling me Dave, and I was like, no, don't call me Dave. Like, that's so disrespectful, because when it's like, Arnold Schwarzenegger, we could all say his name.
Yeah.
But you can't practice or learn how to say my name.
But everyone called me Stormzy. That's what I was known as. Stormzy. Everyone, like, if people are watching this right now, they'll know Stormzy. They'll be like, oh, that's me. That's who I was, Stormzy. And I was known by that from prisoners and prison staff. I'll say at my time there, like, not even on the bragging thing, I was definitely the most known prison officer.
Okay.
Like, fuck, like, and for good reason as well. Like, I treat you how I want to be treated. I'm coming from an environment where I kind of am around, not around, but I grew up in a deprived area, so I know a lot of the crimes and things like that. So I'm able to relate more with these people. You know what I mean? If you can relate to somebody more, you're more likely to be able to get on with it.
I've asked to get them off the wing because the dad asked me to bring things over him. And the thing is, I grew up with this guy, so I just thought, like, it's just so disrespectful of you to even ask me. Like, I'm not in the lifestyle of what you do, so you can't really expect me to do things that you do on the inside. I'm not here for it. So yeah, I found it really disrespectful, and I just passed him out and said, yeah, I can't have you around if they're going to be asking shit like that. He was telling me he's got a family to feed, and I told him, you should have thought about that before you ran over people. But you didn't want to calm yourself down. You were just out here doing the mad thing.
So with that, he's got moved off the wing. How was your guys' relationship afterwards? That just
He
complete.
saw me and he was like, you snitched on me. I was like, yeah, because you want to put my life in jeopardy for you. Like, make it make sense.
Manage that.
Listen, okay, cool. Imagine I walked on the wing now. These times I've seen someone from the ends. Poof, I hit straight back into the office. And my heart's beating because this is when I first started. So nobody really knew what I was done. I was telling everyone I'm a probation officer. I don't really want everyone to know. So my heart is beating now. I went to the com. I said, listen, I can't work on the wing. Like, my man's got to go. If you get me, like, he's got to go. He can't be on the wing. Because obviously I don't want people to find out. How it went, I think one of the random on road, he's called me now. He's like, oh, you're great. Flipping, what? Do you want to get Thameside? I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, so-and-so said that they saw you, bro. And then he's like, I thought you got probation. I was like, do you know what? Obviously, I had to come clean. I told him, yeah, man, I work in prison. And funny enough, he took it a lot better than this. And this is somebody who's already been jailed. So he took it a lot better. He was like, cool, you know what? Get your money, do this, do that. He didn't really, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. The stigma wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. And so since then, and I had a conversation with him, then the people would ask, yeah, I work in a prison. And I wasn't ashamed of it anymore. Because I wouldn't fit the normal bracket of a prison officer anyway. Like he said, I'm not a dickhead. I'm not one of the people that abuse my power. I'm somebody who is fair in it. So even if you heard me with a prison officer, you're not going to see me in the same way as other people would. Yeah. So I tried to own it. Honestly, she tried to own it.
No, I hear it. So even with that, then when the man them know, yo, one of the man them's a prison officer, I know you would have got the call. Like, yo, great, what are you saying? You're not going to try and bring something in? What's going on?
Do you know?
How did you navigate that?
Okay, cool. Funny enough, yeah, because I was so cool with everyone, that is one of the things that the staff, they thought that, oh, I was corrupt, I was this, because they just couldn't work their head around that. How is this guy? He's only worked on one house block, like, how is he cool with everybody? Like, why is everyone know his name, all of this stuff? So it was difficult to navigate that. But me, I'm one of them, I'm not on nothing in the sense of like, I'm looking after people in prison, so I know what it takes to go to prison. I'm not going to jeopardize man's future for some little change or anything like that. It doesn't really make sense. So I just let people know straight. Like I remember one time somebody's come to me and I walked on a fresh wing. Whenever I used to come to the wing, people used to be, yo, Stormzy, Stormzy. So man's walked on a fresh wing. One of the guys, I've never met this guy in my life. He walked up to me. He's giving me a piece of paper. I'm thinking, what the fuck? What's this? He gives me a piece of paper, yeah? He's like, oh, just write down your number, write down your number. Yeah, I'm a funny guy. So I was like, give me 1 second. I wrote 0121 do one on the piece of paper. I folded it. I've given it to my man. He's about to open it. I said, no, wait until I leave, innit? As I walk it off the wing, I've seen him open it. All the bridges are laughing at him, just getting on to him, get me. So I was one of the people themselves, nah, Drake's not on nothing like that. Stormzy's not on that. Like, he's a cool guy. Like, if I needed extra money, man trying to do overtime, things like that. So I didn't get sucked into any of that stuff, to be honest with you.
Obviously, with working in the prison, like I've always been an individual that's acquired nice things when it's come to like my cars, footwear, like, so I've never ever been enticed by money. And you can imagine, like, working in that environment, you're gonna come across some big players. Do you understand what I'm saying? But one thing that struck me the most was, you see the officers that was patterning or that was bringing in contraband, the stigma that they held, you know, in doing that was so consequential. You know, whatever wing they went on, they'll say, oh, what? My man's working today, yeah? What? Have you got man's parcel? And they're saying this openly, you see what I'm saying? And it's embarrassing, man. It's like you're a sender. And even when it came to like your level of respect, inmates wouldn't respect you. They may say, oh yeah, what's it? They may say, oh, they respect you at the time. Bro, they don't respect you, bro. Because they got you by the balls, innit?
I mean, once sort of an officer was kind of known, what was the reaction from the other officers? Was that,
Oh yeah, it was like investigation galore. They would have loved if I was part of that network, man. They would have loved it. Because even when man used to even come into work, bro, I'm having sniffer dogs, I'm having my ouds confiscated because they're saying, oh, my oud has what's it called? Cannabis substance in it. I'm thinking, bro, this is, oud is from like bark, it's like from tree bark, you see what I'm saying? But like just seeing like the officers, the way they had to move. But the officers were slick though, I give it to them. It was a big operation. It was, where they had different people in departments to make their thing work. You know, there was one serious operation where it involved, like, obviously the transport of drugs involved like it started from like the delivery to like the kitchen, and obviously they'll put like parcels into the kitchen trolley, then they'll obviously dispense it to like the house block. And that went on for a hot bit, you know. But then things got messy because one of the inmates got lost in the sauce with one of like the, you get like your workers, the ones that, or what are they're your like support workers. They're not officers, they're the support workers. Yeah, obviously he's got lost in the sauce with her. So then everyone's, like all of the officers are monitoring her movements, seeing like, oh, raw. My man's a bit too close with her.
was she catch 22 or something?
No, she wasn't catch 22. She was CRC. Okay. So like it's like a resettlement. It's like a resettlement group. So they basically get you your accommodation when you're about to get released. So obviously when officers are saying, "Rah, like she's a bit too pally with my man," they pressured my man and said, "Rah, like what's going on?" They spun him. They've obviously found bare bits and bobs on him. And it was an unlikely source as well. And he used to work in like the Faith Center. And they were one of the most trusted individuals. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, that whole operation went to pot. because where they pressured them, they said that when they've taken them to the SEG now, and they've said, okay, cool, boom, like what officers are involved? And I remember that day, because I was working in the SEG at the time. So they've obviously got up the computer screen and they've put up all of the officers that worked on both house blocks. And they pressured them and said, rah, like, who are the officers that are involved? And bro, my head was hot. I had to leave the room because the people that he's pointing out, I would have never ever expected them to be involved like that. You see what I'm saying? It was madness, man. But then I became accustomed to it. A lot of inmates would confide in me and say, oh, you know my man's patterning, and you know my man's getting paid this much. And yeah, I'm thinking, bro, I don't care. Because at the end of the day, like you have to see like your name or your person as a brand. You see what I'm saying? And for that to get diminished for change as well, like you see what I'm saying? There was a lot of, should I say, officers that they were suffering from a financial aspect. So the moral compass will always go out the window, you know? And even with the little £2 or the little £4 that you'll get for bringing in a parcel, there was never ever content. Because you see money is the spirit, it's greed, isn't it? And this is where you get caught. And then when you get caught, yeah, that's when you see your job's worth. They have a field day with you because it's like they'll parade you out of the prison. Like, so obviously when you get suspended, and you know when you're getting suspended because, bro, a bag of the senior officers will come onto the wing and they'll pull you into the office, or they'll pull the corrupt officer into the office, and then you'll see them getting marched out. And obviously with Thameside, yeah, bro, you're getting marched out publicly because people can see through their windows, inmates can see through their windows. If mass movement's going on, bro, you're getting marched by all of the officers like towards the gate. It was embarrassing, bro. And then you got police outside waiting for you as well. It was embarrassing.
How was it in terms of the male attention? Because I'm assuming that would have been rife.
It was a lot. Yeah.
And how did you deal with it?
To be honest, I don't think I really dealt with it. Like, no one was disrespectful of it. You know what I mean? Like, no one crossed the line.
Did you enjoy the attention?
No, I came in with the knowledge that I was going to get attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it really didn't faze me.
Did it ever make you feel good though? Like you can have a shit day at home, and then you come home and someone's like, "Oh, all right, miss, you look nice," or whatever. Did it never?
Not really. But I tell myself this every day. I see myself, I know what I look like. Yeah.
Okay, chill. Fashion contract, model contract, got a contract.
Not like that, but if you don't tell yourself, you're going to get lost in the sauce when they are telling you. So.
And to be fair, I felt for like the female officers, because for you to be a female officer and want to work in a jail, you must feel enticed by getting like male reception, you know? And with inmates, they've got all the time in the world. So they'll keep digging, they'll keep prodding you. And then you'll find yourself in an unnecessary situation.
Oh, miss, you look nice. Someone's treating you good outside, you're coming in here glowing. But I can't lie, it's a bit cringe when they say it. I'm just thinking, ugh. And then you get told like what they do behind closed doors, then you know the lights go out. It's not really nice to hear it, but.
As in, what, masturbation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, them comments are, I want you to lock me up so I can.
Would you write them up for those things, or just let it go?
And let it go because I'd be writing up everybody. You get that? I'd be writing up everybody.
Was there any prisoners that you found attractive? You thought, oh, you know what, if you was on the outside, yeah, you know what, but no, you're in here, so no.
Unfortunately, prison kind of makes everyone look, but there were some good looking people in there.
There was a time when I worked in segregation. I'm not going to mention the female officer's name, but she'll know. And like obviously, like where I worked on night shift, the man them are beefing each other. Like I'm thinking, like why though? And they're saying like they're being led on by this this particular officer. So like these things do happen. You know, it is apparent.
You think it's just that the female officers that the attention that they don't get outside now, man them inside and give them super 10 times more attention because they're lonely and they want to get something so the women get flattered by it.
But this is because with me, I don't understand the thought processes of females because I've seen relationships that females have been in that have been broken down by inmates inside. So I don't understand. I don't know if it's a thrill. I don't know if it's something that if it's on their itinerary where they want to think, where they say, yeah, you know what, let me do a thing with an inmate. Just it's like a bucket list thing. I never understood why like female officers would get with like an inmate. It just didn't even make sense. And it was so apparent. It was so, yeah, it was just, it was just, it was just frequent. It was a frequent scenario. There was one particular inmate, he was, and if he does watch this, he was phenomenal. He was phenomenal when it came to ticking off officers, when it came to him sleeping with them. He was phenomenal. I would want to mention his name, but I won't mention his name for confidential purposes. But he was prolific, absolutely prolific. And it's like female officers will know that, listen, stay away from my man because he's known for corrupting like female officers, and they'll still go to him, and they'll get bagged. There's even, I think even one of them even had his youth. It's mad.
It's funny because where the jail that I worked, there was always a stigma about black people doing this, doing that, but it was always the white people that would flying under the radar that was doing the maddest things. So there was quite a lot of people, and before I came, there was a female prison officer, she got sacked. I'm hearing she was given blows and that in the stairwell and things like that, and had it recorded. And it didn't go viral like the other one, but I'm hearing that people have recorded. Do you get what I mean? People have recordings of her. So,
I mean, from experience, we know these things happen.
Definitely.
I mean, when you heard or saw about the one from Wandsworth, what was your take on that one? Because that was
wild.
crazy.
Yeah, wild. Like, absolutely wild. I think she got sucked in, literally, because she was
Unintended.
yeah, she was moving wild, like in the sense of like it's just okay. To do it is one thing. To have it videoed is another thing. But to have another person go, what? Wow, like double one, you're free. Like there's no way. And you yourself as a prison officer, you know prisoners talk and snitch more than anybody. Like more than anybody. So for you to be doing that, you didn't think it was gonna come out. She literally, I don't know what was wrong. I don't know what was wrong with her. Like things like that do happen, but they're a lot more discreet. Like a lot more discreet.
I've seen, like I said, I've opened. There was a time when I've opened a cell door and I've seen like one of the officers giving oral. This was on D-Wing Uppers. She's giving a head to like this prisoner that was getting released. I'll close the cell door. So even seeing that footage, yeah, of that Wandsworth officer, like I said, I don't know the dream that she'd been sold. Go on.
You've gone into the cell.
Yeah, no. So basically, you do something called accountability checks, innit? So obviously, when I've gone into D-Wing Uppers at the time, I've gone to like cross-check because you have to cross-check to see if the cell doors are locked, innit? So I've seen like D426 is open. I think right. I think it was D426 or D326 or D327, but whatever. So, but I've seen the cell door like open, like slightly open. I'm thinking, right, why is it open? This is like bang up is about 6 o'clock. So when I've opened the cell door, yeah, and I've seen my man getting blows, I've just closed the cell door. I mean,
Did the officer clock you?
You know, she clocked me. So obviously, my head's scattered these times. So I'm still cross-checking the doors, and I was seeing my girl like walk out from the cell, and she pretended to like yawn. I'm thinking, bro, I've just seen what you done, bro. Like,
Did you ever have a conversation with her?
bro, she just said, "Oh, you're right, Jeff." Bro, I'm thinking, what do you mean about all right? Do you know what you've just done in front of me? And you're asking me if I'm all right, bro? I said, no.
How did you feel afterwards about it though?
Bro, it's when I said to myself, bro, I'm just working in a village of sin, bro. I'm working in a demonic environment, bro. Like what I've just seen, and it's normal. And you clock that I've seen you. Like you see what I'm saying? And you're still engaging in a conversation. There's no shame. There's no embarrassment, bro. Like I'm thinking, bro, I wasn't involved, bro. You see, once you defile yourself, yeah, in that kind of manner, it's just a long day. Like that respect that I had for you. And the worst thing, I didn't even report it. I always kept that story with me, and I witnessed that in 014, and I didn't unveil it until maybe the other day.
I've seen one person at a yard dance.
Yeah, you already dance.
Yeah.
Did you catch a wine?
Oh, of course not.
'Cause that would have been the ultimate for the prisoner. Be like, yes, dismissed in Belmarsh. I was onto her, and now I catch her in a yardie dance. But if a prisoner had kind of changed his way, was attractive, he's come out, he's doing good for himself, and he said, you know what, miss, I'm not taking the date. It's just that stigma. He's a prison officer. I mean, he's a prisoner that you just can't go there.
Oh no, we're all human at the end of the day. I realise that anybody can go to jail. Anyone. It isn't about who you are. Anybody can go there. Just a number at the end of the day. So they need their beds filled. They need the income from our taxes. So anyone can go to jail. So yeah, I would give the guy a chance. If you've been to jail, if he's doing one, why not?
One of my worst days in prison. So this was when I worked on the detox wing. So the detox wing is where all of the inmates, they get the methadone, the Subutex. It's like a drug detox wing. And there was this one inmate. Obviously, I've come onto the wing now, and my officers have said, oh, you know what, we need to feed this guy. And I promise you, Bobby, I've opened the cell door, I've gone in now, I've given my man his food. I thought, yeah, you know what, I've got a good rapport with my man. Obviously, he didn't take too lightly with the officer that had kept him behind his door, innit? So as I'm walking out now, one of the female officers, Bobby, she pushed me out of the way. But as she pushed me out of the way, the guys had a cup and had piss in it. So where she pushed me, the piss has hit man's face, bro. Bro! It hit my face, it hit the officer, hit the other officer. Bro, yeah, he'll never forget that day, bro. To contaminated substances. What? Nah. It went left for him, bro. I can't lie to you, bro.
Was there any dirty protests as well?
Oh, yeah. And it's mad because... it's mad because...
People don't know, let them what dirty protest is.
So a dirty protest is when an inmate decides to poo himself, and then he'll rub all of his poo all over the cell. And I've seen some revolting ones, man. There was one Egyptian guy, yeah, where he would carry poo in his hand, and he'd pick out bits of poo, and he'd just be dashing it at the officers. I'm thinking, bro, you see with Joey, I've seen the most insane things. Yeah, he would pick out his poo, and he'd be dashing it, he'd be pinging it at the officers. Officers are ducking, freaking, the wing's smelling. This guy's wiping all poo all over the wing, wiping it on the water fountain. No one has ever drunk from that water fountain again, bro. Because you're looking at the water fountain, it's got bits of sweet corn, carrots, and I'm thinking, bro, how are you holding your poo, bro? And he said, anyone that comes near me, yeah, I'm throwing at you. And these times, and now he's taking the piss because he'll roll up like his cigarette or whatever, and he'll be smoking and he'll still have like the poo in his hand, still ready to pelt our officers. Bro, he was mad, bro.
I know T and oh gosh, I forgot that guy's name.
Diggity.
That one.
They were cellmates. They were cellmates, weren't
Yeah,
they?
they were.
Like all of your UK rappers, yeah, they'll know me very well, you know. And to be fair,
Such as,
like Jay Huss, Fredo, who else is there? Like the whole of like 6-7. Who else is there? Like M24. Everyone that you could think of that does drill rap, I've had an encounter with them. To be fair, I've had a good rapport. Oh yeah, Asco as well. Had a good rapport with them.
so whenever there was a prisoner that's quite famous in the prison, would the officers all kind of speak about it and say, look, this guy's in the prison, we need to be keeping an eye out, how did it work?
Yeah, no, it's like, to be fair, like that's when I actually found out that officers had a general life, because like obviously the officers that I worked with, most of them were like from like Kent and like Dartford, and to hear them say, oh Rod, you know, what's it, so-and-so's in this jail. I remember when Snap came into my jail, and one of my boys, that he was a decent lad, to be fair. And you would never have expected him to say, oh, rah, like, I listened to Snap Capone, you know, he's hard, you know that he's on your wing. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, bro, like, you know.
There was actually Ben. Mayhem was there. Yeah, he was there at one point. There was a lot of people that were hood famous, so it's like, okay, cool, they ain't rappers in that one. They run the M's. You know what I'm trying to say? There was sort of a lot of them that was in jail. I'd probably say maybe the most, who used to come, I feel like there might have been another one who was quite famous as well. I can't remember the name. His pop was there at one point. Quite a few. There was a lot of, what group is it? 6-7 lot. There was a lot of 6-7. Like when the whole Chris Cabba thing happened, all of them that got arrested with him, they were there as well, in the prison. So yeah, man, there was a lot of people in the prison. It's funny because some prison officers would treat him differently because of that. Expecting, oh my gosh, yeah, like, he's gonna give me a shout out, he's gonna be very happy or anything like that. But I feel like he came on the vein because once you've done that, they've got him. You know, I'm trying to say, oh yeah, let's just do this or do that. You get me? So you got to be careful with things like that. But I feel like the way you treat them normally with respect, you'll get it back.
When they come out, they think that, oh yeah, you know what, I'm gonna get a shout out for my man in like the video. And it's funny because a couple of officers did get shouted out in a couple of like the drill raps, innit? It's funny.
I did have stories like officers asking for them to put them in their next songs and stuff like that. I might have been one of them, but
It's me, Bobs. You know what, yeah? You know what it is? I had a good stint. I had a good run where, like, I just wasn't interested in it. And then I fell, man. You know, like, five times. Yeah, man. And
You're moving like, what's that guy in Equatorial Guinea, right?
oh, bro, I fell 5 times, bro. And you know, and it's mad, yeah, because obviously inmates will find out, yeah, that I've done a thing with like the particular female officer. And it's like, it'll give that female officer some form of clout. I was very popular, you see what I'm saying? And like the female officers that I did sleep with, like gave them like a clout. Like they think, oh yeah, raw, like.
Did they ever find out about each other? Was it feeling, oh yeah, I'm dating him and you dating him as well? Was it
obviously when I was on my badness, I'm a good boy now. But when I was on my badness, like you knew what you were getting yourself into. Like, you see what I'm saying? I didn't sugarcoat anything. I didn't try sell a dream. For me, it was just business. Like, you see what I'm saying? But it's the consequence. It was the toil that it took. Because then, like, I'll be walking and they say, oh, what's it? That's Jeff's thing. Like, inmates, I said, bro, that's Jeff's thing. I think, bro, it got long for me, bro. I just said, nah, you know what? Yeah, this whole dating or this whole incestuous stuff is long, bro. And it's like, say if that female was to like get into a madness, it's like you're compelled to serve them in honoring them when it comes to like defending them. You see what I'm saying? And you know how females are. They'll show you the maddest story, bro, and say, oh yeah, this inmate done this to me, like, and like that pressure in having to sort out that situation, bro. It got long, bro. It got long, man. It was peak.
Is that? What is this smile? There's a laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a traumatic experience. I'd never do it again.
I mean, how did it go about? Did you try to chat to you first? Did you see him, or how did it work?
We saw each other, and yeah,
Why didn't it work out?
it didn't work out. 'Cause he was community. Yeah, he was for the community.
So basically, all the prison officers.
Yeah, every single one of them. Even outside as well.
How did you find out?
How the girls tell me stories.
Okay.
Yeah, other officers tell me stories. I was like, oh, wow.
Did you confront him?
Yeah, of course. And he lied, as they always do.
Mhm.
Okay, visits. I've got to visit a couple of times. I said visit was probably the most saddest part about Joe, because when you see a man go to a visit expecting his daughter to be there, his baby mums to be there, his sister, his family to be there, and then they're not there, and he's got to sit in the holding cell for the whole hour while everyone else is going to visit, getting their food, getting their lunch. Like, visits were one of it could end up very volatile. Still, a lot of the times, that there'll be little things like, imagine your missus to come, but she's got the wrong ID or the wrong date or anything like that. Like, it was very, very strict in visits. So that was probably one of the most emotional places within the jail. You see people, like big men, cry after their visit. You see them upset when they don't get their visit. Like, it was emotional. So what I used to do, I don't like to visit, let's say for example, there's a couple of people who their visitors weren't there, normally meant to stay there. So I was just get permission out, then they take us up back to their wing. So at least then, they don't feel like they're not just sitting there stewing in their emotions. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Unfortunately, madam, we won't be letting you in today.
Okay, why?
You've gone past the limit. It's 5 minutes after the time limit. We give you 15 minutes grace, and it's now 20 minutes past.
I understand what you're saying, but it's only 5 minutes. You can let me in.
I totally understand that, but we now close the gate, so anyone else can't come in now.
Yeah, but I've travelled from a long way.
I totally understand, and unfortunately today it won't be happening.
I'm sorry, I'm not having it. I want to see my man. Like today, it's
It
only
won't
been.
be happening today, madam. I'm sorry.
No, I want to see my man. What do you mean
No,
I'm not
wait.
gonna go see my man?
Can you step back,
What do you
please?
mean I'm not gonna go see my man?
Step back, please.
No, I want to go and see my fucking man.
Hello,
want
can I
to
get a bit
see
of help,
my
please?
man.
Can I get a bit of help? So, mate, your visit's not showed up, so we want to go right now. Honestly, we have to go back.
Yo, what happened? Where were you?
What do you mean? Where was I? I came to see you.
Bro, you was not there.
Huh?
You weren't here though. I was sitting by myself.
I came.
If you came, you would have been here.
I came and the guy didn't let me in.
p.m. because I was 5 minutes late.
So, because you was late then?
What do you mean because I was late? I traveled for 2 hours and I was only 5 minutes late.
Yeah, but if you know, 5 minutes too late. Like, I was sitting there on my ones. I'm seeing other people's girls come. They came on time. Like, you know, I had this one visit today.
Don't compare me to other people's girls, first of all. And you have me sitting out here on the streets on my ones. On my ones, Harris. Yeah, I've had enough of your bullshit.
What do you mean you've had enough of my bullshit? What's that supposed to mean?
Because I traveled 2 hours and I was 5 minutes late. The guy didn't let me in and you're trying to blame me for not being able to see you.
But then just leave earlier. Like, if you wanted to, you would have came earlier.
How early do you want me to leave? How early do you want me to leave?
Bro, early enough to come and see me. Like, I was sitting there by myself.
And I'm sitting out here by myself. I've had enough of your nonsense. Honestly, I've had enough. Had enough.
What's that supposed to mean? You've had enough of
It
what?
means what it means. It means what it means. I've had it. It's like, I'm done. I'm done.
Nah, you're not done. That means there's someone. Who else is it?
Yeah, go. Terrible, man. Even with, and it's mad because it's like a substitute for like cannabis, innit? And obviously, even with the way they convey it in, like I think it's sprayed on, it's sprayed with like fish tranquilizer. But there was a period, I'll say 2016, 017, where it was just rife. Like you're getting code blues. So code blues are where people are like, they're like spazzing out, they're hallucinating. Had a couple inmates like die from it. It's bad, man. But the officers don't care. They're making their money from it. I think it's what? It's like £100 a sheet or something like that. So imagine if you're bringing in wads. Like, yeah, bro, you're making a killing, bro.
It was crazy. It was crazy. Before, because what I know with Spice, before I come to jail, worked in the jail rather, is of the, you know, the green one from back in the day, like, yeah. So when I come to jail and seeing people pass around papers and things like that, I think, what's going on with these people type thing, innit? You know, it was someone that actually showed me the product, that's drugs. And Spice, I think it's even worse now because that's when you actually see the Walking Dead, like actual real life zombies, like you have people, like, bro, it's crazy, like in terms of what I've seen people do on Spice and how they act, and that is, if one of them drugs, because it's so cheap as well, you even had some random undercover smoking Spice, pretending they were smoking loud and things like that, like it got that real because the pressure of the jail was so crazy. It was Christmas Day. I worked on Christmas Day a couple of years ago. One guy, big guy, Debo looking guy, who watched, what's it, Friday? Literally, guy looked like Debo, the American guy as well. My man took someone's shoes. Like, I don't know what you thought this was, took someone's shoes. The guy who come out skinning you, he just came out with a tuna can, cracked him on the head, boom. Gush, blood everywhere, like, there's literally blood leaking everywhere. This is Christmas Day as well. And it was just going off, them two were going at it, fighting. That was quite bad. And I said the other one is one time, one guy's car, his face literally got carved up. Like, as soon as he stepped on the wing, somebody else had an issue with, straight away within the space of no longer than 5 minutes, literally sliced his neck, sliced his that. It was horrific. Like, it was literally blood all over the cell.
I remember when I was in Juma prayers. This incident was horrific. Yeah, I was in Juma prayers and I was the only officer there. So basically, there was one inmate, like they had beef on road, where this inmate, he got stabbed in front of like his mum. So then obviously, when this comes to Juma prayers, and Juma prayers, like the capacity when it came to like conducting Juma prayers, you had about 150 inmates, and like, if you were lucky, like 3-4 officers. And Jeff being Jeff, you know, when it came to me having to conduct Juma prayers, I was the only officer there. So imagine, obviously, these two inmates have seen each other, and the inmate that got stabbed on road, he's obviously seen this inmate and he's chopped him. And I promise you, like obviously the inmate's in shock now, and everyone's like rushing to try and get this inmate. I remember as I've approached the inmate, I'm weaving through like everyone through like the crowd. When I've gone to see this inmate, I've seen, as he was talking, I could see his cheeks just expand and expand and expand. I'm having to say to him like, listen, bro, stop talking, because the wound that's on your face right now is a madness where man can like just about see like your cheekbone, like crazy incident. I would say that it was crazy because obviously the inmate that's chopped him, I've had to then take him back to the wing, innit? And then, yeah, he somehow managed to get rid of what he used to chop the other inmate. That one, I would say that was maybe the most vicious assault that I've experienced.
So welcome, this is B Wing. Your cell's gonna be there, B24. And this is where we're going to be playing pool with everybody else. So make yourself well known to everybody.
What? You divided me from my mom. You're dumb. You're dumb. Alright? You went back. What? Back. What? You ain't one cool, man. What? What? Get back. What? Put it down. Man, down. What? Put it down.
I was there at one point. This after the whole situation as well.
Yeah.
He came twice actually. So the first time he came, I think he's put on my wing. I used to work on EWS. When he came on the wing, my SO, she come on, she told me, okay, cool, he's got a problem with somebody on the wing. And that's one thing I never understood. Why would she put him on the wing knowing he has a problem with somebody on the wing and he's such a high profile prisoner? So what he done is acting very smart about the situation. She's allowed him out for SOSH, which is SOAR structured of his activities. No issue, nothing like that. When it is time for him to get his food now, he's got his food, go back to his cell. I'm walking past the door, he's not on the door, he's like, oh, let me just throw him a bin out. I'm like, cool, give me 1 second. I'm on the door for him to throw his bin out. As I'm on the door and open the door, he's walked out with actual bin. As he's walked past that, he's coming to walk next to me now. He's uncovered the bin, I playing on top of the bin, he uncovered the bin, there's kettle in the hot water. My man just gone whoosh. The hot water whizzed past me, like I can feel the heat on my ear. He's trying to throw it at somebody, he's intended to target. Unfortunately, he's missed, but he ended up getting better over people. So as he's in the doorway, I've just grabbed my man now, kind of like a bear, like another prisoner who was the VR rep, he came over as well, and kind of grabbed him as well. Basically, VR is a violence reduction type thing, innit? So as this is my first week, so as all of this is going on, behind me, all the other prisoners getting angry, they're pressing the alarm bell straight away. So prisoners will come, prison officers come running on the wing, and it was actually crazy. And when they were taking him to SED, because that is to get taken to isolation straight away, my man, he's had like, the amount of weed he's had on him, he's only been in the prison for like a day. He had so much weed on him, it was unbelievable. And that just goes to show that the value of the weed that he had on him would have been a lot in prison. But he would rather crash his up or get somebody who's got issues with than either enjoy their weed or smoke out on chat. So it just goes to show the level of hatred that people have for each other.
I'll say the next one, yeah, this was on E-Lowers. There was a lifer, obviously he robbed the phone from one of the inmates. Obviously they've orchestrated and getting him and they've chopped his head. I promise you, when I ran onto the wing, I could see my man's skull. I'm thinking, and the worst thing you said to me, what, Jeff, is it bad? I'm thinking, oh my goodness, bro. I've taken off my fleece, I've wrapped my fleece around his head, there's blood just gushing out. I'm thinking, oh, bro. But then obviously when they stitched up his head, it wasn't bad. But obviously I bucked him in Loudon in like 017. So then obviously I've seen like the scar, like it's reduced significantly, but seeing it at the time, running onto like the wing to see my man's skull just there, just horrific, man. Mass movement is in it. Yeah, I've seen inmates getting kidnapped on the route. So like, yeah, on free flow, I've seen inmates getting kidnapped on free flow. Like, it was just a different world, bro. And like even like with the officers, like obviously they had dogs that had teeth filled with titanium. Like they used to call them like land sharks. So it was different meds, man. Even when like obviously I'm going on to I think it was like L wing. It's like it was a lifeless wing. I think the shortest bird was I think 22 years. Like the rest were just doing double life, life without no parole, 99 years. Yeah, it sent man's head, yeah, different. It was just mad, just working there.
Point where you was ever scared for your own life or fearful of being hurt?
I would say, when I was in Loudon, like so obviously when I was in Thameside, I never ever used to shoot the bolt. Never ever used to shoot the bolt. You know what shooting the bolt is, isn't it? Like when you put the cell on like the latch. Yeah. When I worked on this L wing, there was an inmate, I remember he was doing like a 30 rec for like murder. And so, yo, Gov, come into my cell, man. Like I need to show you how man was living. And obviously, when I've gone into man's cell, I'm thinking, bro, nah, this guy's doing like a 20 rec. I'm not on it, bro. He can flip on man anytime. Bro, I shot the bolt, bro. Bro, but even with fear of my life, like I remember, again, when I worked on like the detox wing, and this inmate, he's asked me for like a TV. And this is around what? This is around like 9, 10 o'clock in the night. So I've got him a TV now, and he said, bro, the TV isn't working. So I said, okay, cool. Like, I'll get you another one. So he said to me, oh yeah, what's it? Like, come into my cell. I mean, okay, cool. Like, I'm thinking nothing of it. Don't think that this guy's tried to lock me in the cell with it, bro. I've had to, yeah, I've had to deal with it, man, you know? But I'm thinking, bro, like, I didn't even done nothing to you, and you tried to, what, you thought that you could hold man like hostage, like, no chance. It's not happening.
Okay, cool. He's coming in at one point as well. He's probably been in here for, I don't know, maybe like 5, 10 minutes. All of a sudden, alarm bells, air uppers. He's rocking it out with our next prisoner. Just him and the next prisoner was rocking it out. I think it was in the morning on the way to, I feel like it was court or something that happened on that day. I feel like it was court. There were not 2 prisoners that were going to court, but they both got issues. And they're not just got it cracking, proper got it cracking. And then luckily, I don't think he got transferred to another prison after that as well. So that was all right. But yeah, like, got it cracking still.
The diversity at the top, because it's like everyone's brothers, cousins, uncles at the top. Like their network is very tight, or their clique is very tight at the top. Yeah.
Did you ever feel that you was making a difference?
In some people's lives, you can see it. You hear them, you see them change.
I served my purpose there, you know.
What do you think your purpose was?
To help people out of the darkness, you know. Because I was always known for the good that I'd done. Especially when it came to like inmates getting their DCATs or getting transferred to prison establishments that would have suited them for like their sentence, you know. And I was always like an uplifting character, you know. Like you wouldn't feel that you were in jail because of the rapport that I'll build with you, you know. And yeah, I would always be remembered for the banter that I had. Like my banter was 10-10, man, you know. And just being that individual that was uplifting for the inmates, you know. Like even when I worked in like the gym department, like 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm rounding up the wing to come do like 200 burpees as like a warm up, and then obviously we'll be training together. So it's like I built like a serious reputation when I was like the man to know, innit? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, it was the 10 years of being there. I would say, yeah, it was just a roller coaster what I've seen, what I've been exposed to. I don't regret it.
Oh, they dismissed me.
Why? What's happened?
Yeah. I was upset. I can't lie. After like the first 2 years, it was bliss, but after that, it was just draining. It's like it was just taking something from me. But I was always like off sick for like mental health because there'll be days where I just didn't want to do anything. There'll be days where I'm trying to drag myself to go to work, and yeah, my spirits just like, no, we're not doing it today. So yeah, they didn't really like that. So I was on for like 6 months, and then they dismissed me.
Yeah, and did you feel a sense of a relief when they dismissed you?
Yeah, 100%. I was like, a weight lifted. I don't have to go back to the police.
Long story short, it got to a point where these lot must have thought I was some kingpin. I was talking about security to the point where I would come into work every day. Not every day, but on the regular. The dog's already waiting. Do you know what I mean? So, and me, I'm not on nothing like that. So I don't mind. I'm clocking these things, get me? But it just got to a point where they wanted to push me out so much. Like it was that time type thing. Like there was that, because I was cool with them, I thought I was corrupt. Because the way I speak, the way I look as well. These got made jokes a lot as well. Like, I remember one time I came in my own clothes. They were like, oh, we got on the skate prison now. Do you know what I mean? Like, all these things like that. Like, obviously it's bad and that, but you get me? It just got to a point where it's like, I came here to make change, but I can't make the change that I would like to make.
Okay, so what brought your end to the prison service?
So they said that I had inappropriate relationship with prisoners. So what they suspended me on, they said that I was so basically I would make friends with prisoners inside to then take them to central London, Mayfair, outside. So it wasn't even like a thing of like corruption or whatever. They just said, they just didn't like the fact that whenever they'll look at my Snapchat or my Instagram, they'll see like ex-inmates, me like out with them. But you know, like central London, and maybe you're gonna bump into them individuals. But yeah, they initially suspended me and actually sacked me because they said that I had.
So, let's get this right. Prisoners you met in jail.
Yep.
You've gone out with them on a night out.
Yeah. Well, I've met them in Mayfair. Yeah. Like I was.
Numerous occasions.
No, loads of it. Like it was numerous. It was different inmates. Like I'll go Mayfair. I'll go like Sexy Fish, for example. Yeah. And then obviously I'll bump into like one of the inmates. I'll snap them thinking, nah, bro, like it's nothing. But this was like constant. Yeah. So then obviously they've been on to me. They had me on like Obo for about 8 years, thinking that, yeah, this guy, he's bringing in drugs, he's conveying drugs, but it was never the case. Like, you see what I'm saying? So they've then used an outside issue and said, oh, yeah, like he's forming inappropriate relationships with inmates inside to then party with them outside. That wasn't even the case. They paid me out, to be fair.
Does that merit a sacking though?
Yeah. It doesn't, because obviously I got paid out, and obviously they've scrapped it from their end. It doesn't.
For yourself though, why would you snap in the prisoners?
Because at the end of the day, they're human beings. With me, I didn't care, like, you know. And I knew, obviously, working in that system, I was envied. I was envied where, like, I was known as, like, the good officer. You see what I'm saying? Like, you know, if I'm on the wing, you know that you're gonna have a blinding day. Do you understand what I'm saying? From an officer's aspect and from an inmate's aspect. You know that you're banging up on time. You know that there's not gonna be no commotion just because of the way I had it. Like, you know, and I've mentioned previously where, like, they'll try and stitch me up. So say if it's gone off on a wing like the day before, they're thinking, yeah, you know what, we're gonna get Jeffrey to work on that wing because it's gonna go tits up for him. No, that was never the case, bro. And they'll give me some wally of an officer to work with as well. So they've done things, yeah, to really try to stitch man up. But The glory of God always prevails, man. And I always exceeded expectations when it came to like my work rate, like, and when it came to just running the regime of a wing. I could never ever be faulted for the way I ran a wing.